Hey guys, happy Baby Name Monday. My name is SJ and I'm a baby name consultant, and this week I've been chatting to so many people who have had their names stolen. So when somebody has pinched your baby name, sometimes it's the first and the middle name, a full-on steal. I've had so many stories from some really heartbreaking people. I think it is kind of like a kind of light-hearted topic, but at the same time it's horrible if it happens to you. You've come up with a name, you love the name, you've agreed on the name, and someone uses it or downright steals it. So I decided what I would do is help you to trump it, to come up with a better name that you like even more. And there's tons of name inspiration on this list, so listen along. I actually had so many of you message me. I haven't managed to get to all of them, so this will be a 2, even maybe 3-parter. So if you like the video and you want more, then do hit the like button so that I know, and help out the mums who have written in by letting them know which of my alternative names you like in the comment section below. So I'm going to read out your emails, so all join in and try and help. First up is Sarah. She has written in, so she says, my name I have has been pinched by a celebrity. So this is when a celebrity uses the name that you have come up with and feel is unique. Firstly, what do you reckon of that? Would you still go ahead with it? But it's the first and the middle name. And she says, what are the odds? So this is a blogger, Julia Bellowsheimer, formerly Julia Engel. She's named her second baby Marigold B. So a super unique name. Sarah couldn't believe it. She chose it as well. She had Marigold B. Now it's been announced. It feels total shock. It has really hit her because she chose it because her mum was called Mary and her mother-in-law's name is Deborah. So Deborah means bee in Hebrew, so she loved the gentle nod to both of their mums. She says, honestly, I might still use it because I love it so much. And I think you really, really can. If you do not know this influencer, actually it's not somebody that I follow, so I wouldn't have associated it either, but she would love to hear my other ideas. Of course, I'm going to better it. So really what we're looking for is to honour Mary and Deborah in this baby's name. And I do love Marigold B, but I think we can even get better than that. And you obviously want something quite daring. So I kind of loved the idea, I've done first and middle spots, Mimi Devereaux. Mimi Deborah. So Mimi being an honour of Mary. I love Mimi. I think it's got that super cool nickname as first name that's really trendy at the moment. Everyone is going for it. And Mimi's gorgeous and means beloved. So it's kind of like an elevation of Mia, which means mine. Beloved, I think is so cool. It really honours Mary, Mimi. But then for Deborah, you could go with Devereaux, which traditionally is a gender neutral name or traditionally is more of a male skewed name. But I think it looks so gorgeous written down. It's got Margot French vibes, Devereaux, but it actually means riverbank. So I love the idea that it is this beloved riverbank, the whole thing again, that you kind of like the idea of this kind of meanings and the meaning kind of being nature meaning with the bee. But I think Devereaux, Mimi Devereaux sounds super duper trendy and has got vibes that you like. There's a beautiful name. How about the name Lourdes Beau? Lourdes Beau. I think that is so cool. Such a trendy name. So Lourdes, we say it in English with the S, but you can say it Lourdes. If you're French, it's different around the world. But I love Lourdes. I think it's so nice. And it's actually a French place name that is associated with Mary because it is where somebody saw a vision of Mary. So it often comes up as linked to Mary for that reason, Lourdes. So I just think it's really cool. Obviously, Madonna's daughter is called Lourdes, so don't know if we can say that that's a steal. But I think it's associated, far enough associated away. Lourdes has grown up to be able to use it, Lourdes. And then Beau as a middle name, taking the B and the O from Deborah, is such a cool idea. I love the name Beau for girls. Beau means love, and it also means waves in Chinese. So I quite like the idea that is this kind of loving nod or this loving wave to the name Deborah. So Lourdes Beau I thought was really cool. I quite liked the idea for Deborah to go with just Aura. Deborah, but just go Aura, which I'd never thought of before, and I really like the name Deborah. It's my best friend's name, but never thought about how to honour it, so you could go with just Aura, which is such a cool name. And then I would keep Marigold for Mary, because I liked the idea that it would be this golden aura, this golden glow around your daughter. Aura Marigold sounds really, really trendy, and actually taking that really unique name to the beginning can sometimes be a really cool thing to do. And my last one is Amari, to honour Mary, but Amari, which means eternal, which is so beautiful. Such a a gorgeous name, Amari. And then I liked the idea of it being Amari Beckett, because Beckett also means bee, but it means bee cottage. Again, it's kind of surname as middle name vibes, but I thought that Amari Beckett just sounds so beautiful together. Obviously it depends on your surname, but I thought they sounded really trendy. Or Amari Bee, and keep the bee. So I hope there's some combination of those that you really, really like, Sarah. Now, Erica has written in all the way from Indiana. Hi, Erica. And this is a really bit of a sad story, really. So she has a stolen name story. Her husband and I have been on the path for adoption for a few years, really waiting for the baby. And that's why I think it's a little bit sad, because it's been such a long wait. And they had their baby name chosen, and they loved the name Henry. So they'd always said if they have this opportunity to adopt a baby boy, he was going to be Henry. So I'm sure this has been going around and around in Erica's head. Before we were matched, our best friends had a surprise pregnancy with their third, a boy. And without knowing actually that she loves the name Henry, they have gone ahead and used it. So this is a steal, but in this case, a nice one. We do have some bad ones coming up, but this is kind of an accidental steal. So now we are matched with a mum who's due in November with a boy. So they have their baby on the way, but they're completely at a loss as they've got no names that they can get excited about. And I'm sure it's such a nerve-wracking time as well. She says she's a much braver namer than her husband. I reckon we all are, but he prefers something that's more common. She'd like a happy medium, so she love it when baby boys have old man names. So do I, that's so cute. And she likes a name that can be shortened to a nickname that ends in the long E. So she liked Henry, names like Charlie, Billy, Teddy. So she does have 2 children already. So she has a daughter called Savannah Betty and a 7-year-old boy named Gabriel Andrew. Any suggestions would be appreciated. So first of all, congratulations, and I'm so looking forward to hearing what you call your baby who arrives in November. So I actually love the name Stanley for you. I really, really like this because you have 2 children already. If it hits your old man name, the L-E ending, that long E, Stanley, it's a lot more rarer than Henry, and I think that makes it much cooler. I think it trumps a Henry. The reason I love it is because Savannah, your daughter's name, means meadow, and then Gabriel means strength, and Stanley means by the rock in a meadow. So I feel like the strength of the rock and the meadow of Savannah, it really brings your children's names together, and it's got the S from Savannah, it has the L from Gabriel. So I kind of think that Stanley really hits the nail on the head, and I really liked it. You could also look at other alternatives for Henry. You can go more unique, but still maybe in your husband's comfort zone. You could go with Henley. Henley means high meadow, so it's a really cool name. It's an old Anglo-Saxon name, and I think Savannah, Gabriel and Henley sound really, really nice together. How about Monty? I really like Monty as an alternative to Henry, and it means of the mountains, so I think that that's a really, really gorgeous name for you. Or you could even go with Chesney. Now, this name is really underused, Chesney, and it sounds really cool. It's got real nature vibes, and it means oak grove. So again, it's got that kind of meadow vibes that you've got from your other children. But I think like with Oakley being really popular at the moment, Chesney could be a really, really cool alternative for some of you who are also kind of in this kind of vibe. And my very last one I've done as an alternative for Henry is the name Hector. So I know this doesn't end with the E that you like, but I think it's got the most adorable old man vibes for a little baby, which you're really, really into, Hector. It's just such a cute little name. It means of the horse land, so it's got links with horses, and kind of that really evokes wild horses running free for me, and I really, really like it, Hector. So I hope there is something there that you like as an alternative for Henry. I think Stanley is my absolute favourite, but I also do love Henley if you want to be a tiny bit more braver. Monty or Chesney with those outdoor vibes as well, or Hector as a little wild card which feels really on the same lines as Henry but kind of a bit braver. Lisa, your mother-in-law is a total nightmare. So Lisa has written in and said, my husband and I have had our baby names picked since we were teenagers. Good on you, that is less rare than you would imagine. Lucas and Axel. They've always had those names. How cute they've been together since they were teenagers as well. Or maybe they weren't, maybe he had a name list. Who is this dream guy? After announcing our pregnancy and the baby's gender, having a baby boy, her mother-in-law asked if we were still using the names. So they'd shared the names, mother-in-law had had the privilege of knowing their baby names. A month or so goes past, and now she has 2 dogs who are conveniently called Lucas and Axel. Any ideas would be appreciated. So, mother-in-law, why, first of all? Absolutely why. And I think you have really taken a step over what was a privilege, which is to know those babies' names. And I think it just kind of shows how we're going to overstep the mark when it comes to being a mother-in-law, and really, really think about that, because it is not on. It is really not on. It's not okay. But we will trump those names and find something you even dislike even more than Lucas and Axel. First up, I've come up with the name Caleb, which is kind of funny because Caleb is a little bit of a dog name in some people's eyes, not for me, but Caleb I think is a really great alternative to Lucas and Axel. It's quite a safe name, but a really cool one, and it means faithful. It's at number 85 in the UK charts, but I just felt like it really would stick out to you with its kind of edginess of a bit of Axel, but the L and the C sounds from a Lucas. A really cool choice could be the name Calix. So you can spell that either with a YX or the IX here, and I think it's a really cool combo again of Lucas and Axel. Calix, such a trendy and underused name. There were only 6 boys named Calix last year. Actually comes from the word chalice. So like a chalice, like a cup or a husk or a pod. So it's kind of a floral name. A calyx is a botanical feature on a plant, which is kind of like the pod. So I think that that's really cool. So it's kind of like buddy vibe, but calyx, so trendy. And it also translates as meaning very handsome. So I really, really like that. A wild card for you is the name Darius. Now I like this with the S ending of Lucas, Darius, but the kind of like edginess a little bit again of Axel. It's actually on the rise at the moment. It's at number 332 though, so quite a rare name choice still, and it means rich or kingly. So I think it's just a really cool choice that seemed to match your vibes, because it's kind of got a strong name. So the strong name is Darius. You might like Otis as well, so that's a really sort of blend of the two, because it's sort of short and sweet like an Axel, but it's got the sounds of a Lucas. Otis again has been on the rise quite recently, but it's only at number 96 in the charts, and I think it's a really good contender for you. Cassius, I really liked for you. Again, I think it's got this edgy vibe of Lucas and Axel. Cassius, such a trendy name. Actually is an old ancient Roman name, and those are really trending at the moment. So how many people have you heard called Roman? Is it on the rise? Augustus, all of those names, and Cassius is part of that era of names. It means hollow, saying nothing about the mother-in-law, but it's a kind of really interesting name. If you've listened to any of the podcasts or my name videos lately, you'll have heard me talk about the name Axis, which I absolutely love as an alternative to an Axel or a Lucas. Putting the names together, the earth spins on its axis. It's an imaginary line from curved line around the world, and I think it's such a trendy name. So I hope there's something there that you love, and that your mother-in-law will not have a cat called Axis very soon. Okay, Grace from New Zealand, she's like, I absolutely love your podcast, I listen all the time, and I've always had a running baby name list for as long as I can remember, and in the past few months my fiance has jumped in on the name list fun as well. Hey fiance. The crowning glory ever since a wet day lunchtime in the library. This is when she chose her baby name when she was little, and they watched Charlotte's Web on VHS. She says, but gosh, I'm showing my age. Charlotte was her tippity top girl's name. And I never told anyone other than my partner, but he liked it too. Good, she's got that. She's got her childhood name, he's on board, very happy. But then in 2020, my close friend had a baby girl, Scarlett. I breathed a sigh of relief. We were in the clear then. Only a month later, my partner's bestie and his wife had their baby girl, and the worst happened. Charlotte, gone, pinched, nicknamed Charlie, was born. And she's very lovely. She says, Charlie is a delight, an angel in toddler form, but the name is lost for us forever. Please help. They liked Charlotte because of the nickname Charlie, so she liked this gender neutral nickname for a traditional girl name. So I've got tons for you, Grace. Whatever shall we do? And she's put silver place on the girl's name list. Is Matilda has now got moved up the list, so we're kind of getting a vibe of her style there with Matilda and Charlotte. She's put lots of love to you and your sister, and to you, Grace. So we love coming up with this. Actually, Nay was helping me last night on the old WhatsApp with this one. So Charlotte's quite a traditional name. Matilda, really lovely name. Could go with Matilda, and I really like the nickname Tilda. If Tilly is just, there's so many Tillys, so I feel like Tilda is a really more unique nickname. But on this traditional girl name with a more gender neutral nickname, there are some brilliant ones that me me and Nay came up with for you. Amelia, with the nickname Marnie. Now I know that isn't so gender neutral, but I feel like it's a really trendy name as a nickname that we might not think of. Matilda, with the nickname Tilda that we just talked about, and actually could go then with Harriet, with the nickname Harry. Really beautiful. I absolutely love that one. It's one of Naomi's all-time favourites. I think it really suits you so much. Bridget, with the nickname Jet. That's trendy, isn't it? Because you normally hear Bridge, but I feel like with the nickname Jet, it's suddenly really, really, really cool. Eleanor, with the nickname Lenny. I was so into making these up last night. I'm like telling you, like, I really wish you were here to respond. Josephine, with the nickname Finn. I think that's one of my absolute favourites. Obviously, I have a little boy named Finn, but I just really like it. I was like, I think it's so trendy and such an unusual one. Finn for a girl is so, so cool. Theodosia, which is from Hamilton. If you've watched Hamilton, I haven't still. Theodosia with the nickname Teddy. You can do Theodora, any of those, but I thought I quite like Theodosia. I feel like it might really match what you like. Or what about this one? I came up with the name Robin for a girl, which is gender neutral, and I really, really liked Robin myself. I feel like we've got some similar vibes. Robin with the nickname Bobby, because I actually really like Bobby for a girl. I think it's really nice. It's coming back for boys, but let's bring it back for the girls. So those are my choices for you, and I think that a lot of those really beat Charlotte with the nickname Charlie. I mean, they're so much more rare. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I had so many, and I feel like this video is already super long, so I'm sorry that I haven't got through all of them, but I will do part 2 if you've enjoyed this version of this list. Thank you so much for sending them in. Don't send any more because I have so many, but do hit subscribe and look out for the next name dilemma list. If you have a dilemma that you really need help with, then you can email me sj.strum@yahoo.com for the podcast, which will be back soon with a brand new series. It's just me and my sister answering all types of name dilemmas, and I'll be putting up specific dilemmas that I want you to help you with very soon. Oh, my throat. I will see you very soon, hopefully less croaky. Bye, guys.